Welcome to Lesson 3 of Medical English in Arabic. Unit 3, Parts of the Body 2. In Arabic, أجزاء الجسم 2. Today, we look inside the body, the abdomen, the chest, and the pelvis, and the organs inside them. But first, a quick review from Lesson 2. In Lesson 2, we learned the ordinary English names of body parts, like jaw, shoulder, armpit, elbow, chest, stomach, hip, knee. And we learned that doctors use the ordinary English name when speaking, but the anatomical name in brackets when writing notes. We also learned key collocations, trouble with and pain in. I'm having trouble with my hip. Do you get any pain in your chest? And the radiation of pain. Starts in the back, goes into the buttock, goes down the thigh to the knee. Now, in Lesson 3, we move inside the body. We have 3 sections on page 1. Section A, the abdomen. Section B, the chest. Section C, the pelvis. We will learn the names of the internal organs and an important rule. When doctors need an adjective, they use the anatomical word. Let us begin with Section A. Let us read Section A from the textbook together. Section A is about the abdomen, البطن. The textbook says, the main organs of the body have ordinary English names, and doctors use these words, but when an adjective is needed, they often use an anatomical word. This is very important. Look at these examples. We have the liver, الكبد. The ordinary name is liver, but the anatomical adjective is hepatic. So we say disease of the liver, or we say hepatic disease, مرض كبدي. We have the stomach, المعدة. The ordinary name is stomach. The anatomical adjective is gastric. So disease of the stomach or gastric disease, مرض معدي. The textbook also tells us some abdominal organs, for example the pancreas, have no ordinary name. So the pancreas, البنكرياس, uses the same word for both the ordinary name and the anatomical name. Other organs in the abdomen include the spleen, الطحال, the kidneys, الكلى, and the gallbladder, المرارة. So the key rule, ordinary English name for speaking with patients, anatomical adjective for medical notes. Section A continues. The textbook says, when doctors talk about the main parts of the digestive system, they use the words bowel or intestine. Bowel and intestine mean the same thing, الأمعاء. We have 2 parts, the small intestine, also called the small bowel, الأمعاء الدقيقة, and the large intestine, also called the large bowel, الأمعاء الغليظة. Both names are correct. Then the textbook says, when speaking to patients, doctors may refer to the anus and rectum as the back passage. Back passage, القناة الخلفية. This is a patient-friendly word. Instead of saying anus or rectum, you say back passage. The patient understands this easily. So in medical notes, we write anus and rectum. But when talking to patients, we say back passage. This is the same rule from Lesson 2. Remember, armpit with patients, axilla in notes. Chest with patients, thorax in notes. Same idea here. Ordinary name for patients, anatomical term for notes. Now, Section B, the chest, الصدر. The chest is also called the thorax. The textbook says, the chest contains the organs of respiration and the heart. The heart is القلب. The organs of respiration include the lungs, الرئتان. Now, here is an interesting fact about the lungs. The left lung and right lung are different. The left lung has 2 lobes, فصان. The right lung has 3 lobes, ثلاثة أفصاص. A lobe is a section of the lung. The textbook then describes the airways. It says, the airways consist of the larynx, the trachea or windpipe, the right and left bronchus, and the bronchioles. Let us follow the path of air. Air enters through the larynx, الحنجرة. Then it goes down the trachea, which is also called the windpipe, القصبة الهوائية. Then the trachea divides into 2 tubes, the right bronchus and the left bronchus, شعبتان هوائيتان. Then these divide into smaller tubes called bronchioles, القصيبات. Finally, the textbook says the chest is separated from the abdomen by the diaphragm, al-hijab al-hajiz. The diaphragm is a strong muscle that moves when you breathe. The word diaphragm is the same in ordinary English and anatomical language. Now, section C, the pelvis, al-hawd. The textbook presents a doctor explaining the function of the bladder to a patient. The doctor says, the bladder is situated in the pelvis, and it is connected to each kidney by a long tube called the ureter, one on each side. So the bladder is al-mathana. It sits in the pelvis. The kidneys are al-kila. There are two kidneys. Connecting each kidney to the bladder is a tube called the ureter, al-halib. So we have two ureters, al-haliban. The doctor continues, the ureters carry the urine from the kidneys to the bladder, where it is stored until you decide to empty your bladder. So urine is produced in the kidneys. Then it travels down the ureters to the bladder. The bladder stores it. The doctor says, when that happens, the urine passes down another tube, called the urethra, to the outside. When you empty your bladder, tafrigh al-mathana, the urine goes out through the urethra, al-ihlil. So the whole system, kidneys produce urine, ureters carry it to the bladder stores it, urethra passes it out. In English, we say pass urine or pass water instead of urinate. This is more polite with patients. Let us review the entire passage of page 1 before we move to the exercises. From section A, the abdomen. The main organs are the liver, with the adjective hepatic, the stomach, with the adjective gastric, the pancreas, which has no ordinary name, the spleen, the kidneys, with the adjective renal, the gallbladder. We also learned that bowel and intestine mean the same thing. Small bowel or small intestine, large bowel or large intestine, and back passage is the patient-friendly term for anus and rectum. From section B, the chest. The chest contains the heart, cardiac is the adjective. The lungs, pulmonary is the adjective. The left lung has 2 lobes, the right lung has 3 lobes. The airways, larynx, trachea or windpipe, bronchus, bronchioles, and the diaphragm separates the chest from the abdomen. From section C, the pelvis. The bladder, vesicle is the adjective. The kidneys, renal is the adjective. The ureters carry urine from the kidneys to the bladder. The urethra carries urine out of the body. That is the end of the theoretical part. Let us now switch to page 2 and solve the exercises together. Exercise 3.1. Label the diagram. التمرين 3.1. In this exercise, you need to label a diagram of the respiratory system using words from the box. Let us solve it. Number 1. Diaphragm. الحجاب الحاجز. The muscle below the lungs. Number 2. Lobes. الأفصاص. The sections of the lungs. Number 3. Windpipe. القصبة الهوائية. Also called the trachea. Number 4. Heart. القلب. Number 5. Lung. الرئة. Number 6. Airways. المجاري الهوائية. The passages that carry air. Number 7. Bronchioles. القصيبات. The smallest tubes in the lungs. So the labels are diaphragm, lobes, windpipe, heart, lung, airways, and bronchioles. All of these words describe parts of the respiratory system.
Exercise 3.2. Match the conditions with the organs. التمرين 3.2.
Number 1. Hepatitis. التهاب الكبد. Hepatitis affects the liver. Hep means liver. Number 2. Pneumonia. الالتهاب الرئوي. Pneumonia affects the lung. Number 3. Nephritis. التهاب الكلى. Nephritis affects the kidney. Nephro means kidney. Number 4. Gastric ulcer. قرحة المعدة. Gastric means stomach, so a gastric ulcer is a stomach ulcer. Number 5. Cystitis. التهاب المثانة. Cystitis affects the bladder. Number 6. Angina pectoris. الذبحة الصدرية. Angina affects the heart. Number 7. Cholecystitis. التهاب المرارة. Cholecystitis affects the gallbladder. Number 8. Ulcerative colitis. التهاب القولون التقرحي. This affects the large bowel. Notice how many disease names end in itis. That suffix means inflammation. Hepatitis is inflammation of the liver. Nephritis is inflammation of the kidney, and so on.
Exercise 3.3. Complete the textbook extract about examination of the abdomen. The text describes how a doctor examines the abdomen by feeling or palpating the organs. Number 1. To examine for enlarged abdominal organs, الأعضاء, the doctor feels for the organs inside the abdomen. Number 2. First feel for the liver, الكبد, on the right side. Number 3. And the spleen, الطحال, also on the right side. Number 4. Next, feel for the right kidney, الكلى اليمنى. Number 5. Then cross over to the other side for the left kidney, الكلى اليسرى. Number 6. Still on the left side, palpate for an enlarged spleen, طحال متضخم. Number 7. Finally, feel for the bladder, المثانة. The bladder is only felt if it is full. Palpate means to feel or examine by touch, يجس. The doctor palpates the liver, spleen, kidneys, and bladder during an abdominal examination. Over to you and Unit 3 summary. مهمتك وخاتمة الوحدة الثالثة. Over to you from the textbook. Many patients do not know the location or function of the spleen or the pancreas. How would you explain them to a patient in English? Think about it and write your answer in the comments. Here is what we learned today in Unit 3, Parts of the Body 2. Section A, the abdomen. The main organs are the liver, stomach, pancreas, spleen, kidneys, and gallbladder. We also learned the anatomical adjectives, hepatic, gastric, renal, cardiac, pulmonary, vesicle, and bowel and intestine, and the patient-friendly term back passage. Section B, the chest. The heart, the lungs with 2 and 3 lobes, the trachea or windpipe, the bronchus and bronchioles, and the diaphragm. Section C, the pelvis. The bladder, the kidneys, the ureters, and the urethra. The system, kidneys produce urine, ureters carry it, bladder stores it, urethra passes it out. Remember the key rule. Ordinary English name for patients, anatomical adjective for medical notes. Write your answers in the comments. See you next time. Ma salama.